By every measure possible, I am living the dream. I live in Switzerland, which is widely considered to be one of the wealthiest and safest countries on the entire planet. I am 18 years old, and as of today, I have $65,000 invested in the market. I recently landed a software engineering internship that is only 15 minutes away from my house. I have a side hustle tutoring younger students that pays me quite well. If you looked at my life on paper, you would think I have everything completely figured out. You would assume I am perfectly in sync with a traditional path to success. But the reality is, I am playing a completely different game than the one they teach us in school to follow. I am making this video to introduce myself and to introduce you to a project that is going to span the next 15 years of my life. This channel is going to be my public journal. But before I explain exactly what kind of content you can expect to see here, you need to understand why this channel even needs to exist in the first place. We are constantly told by older generations to just keep our heads down, work hard, get a good degree, and eventually buy a house. I do not blame them for giving that advice. They grew up in an entirely different economy where the formula actually worked. But for our generation, the rules of the board game have completely changed. The standard script for life is outdated and broken. My computer science degree is a perfect example of this massive shift. I am still in the middle of it right now, and I can honestly say I have barely learned any practical skills from the actual curriculum. The education system right now is built entirely around memorizing massive amounts of information, recalling it for a final exam, and then forgetting it a week later to make room for the next test. And with the rapid rise of artificial intelligence, the whole system has become completely surreal. Right now, students are using artificial intelligence to write their code and format their assignments. Then the teachers are turning around and using their own artificial intelligence tools to grade those exact same assignments. We are literally paying thousands of dollars and spending years of our lives to watch two computers talk to each other. Getting a job with that degree is not a smooth process either. I sent out about 240 applications to various companies all across Switzerland just to land my current internship position. I received dozens of automated replies rejecting me every single morning. I finally got the position not because of my degree, but because a friend of a friend put in a good word for me. A lot of people my age get really angry about the system. They feel like the world has failed them, and I completely understand why. Everything is too expensive. The housing market feels completely out of reach, and the idea of working until we are 70 just to survive is terrifying. And instead of fighting it, our generation numbs our brains. We sit on our phones and doomscroll for hours because the digital world is easier to face than reality. We constantly consume content, terrified of the future, paralyzed by the fear that we will own nothing and be expected to be just happy about it. I know exactly how dark that hole gets because I lived in it for years. During the global lockdown, I fell into a really dark place and completely gave up on the real world. I was a deeply antisocial kid who refused to socialize with anyone. I locked myself in my bedroom and spent over 5,000 hours playing GTA Online. I treated that game as if it was a full-time job. I built a massive digital empire and hoarded $800 million in my virtual bank account. I spent thousands of real dollars on Fortnite skins and filled my room with expensive Lego sets just to get a brief hit of dopamine. I even started a TikTok account that blew up to 30,000 followers. But one day I had a moment of total clarity. I realized I was just creating empty content and contributing to the exact brain rot that was keeping my generation trapped. I deleted that account and finally woke up. I realized that if I had the patience and the discipline to grind for 800 million fake dollars in a video game, I absolutely had what it takes to build real wealth in real life. I just had to change the game I was playing. I made a promise to myself that I would learn how to monetize everything around me. I started working at my friend's restaurant when I was just 14 years old and saved absolutely everything I earned. When I got older, I took a second job at the local bakery making minimum wage. I also started tutoring kids from my old school. I even started looking into micro opportunities in my daily life. During school breaks, my classmates were always too lazy to walk over to the supermarket to buy drinks. So I started taking their orders, walking across the street and charging them a 50-cent markup for the convenience. All of those tiny decisions, those long shifts, and those saved paychecks began to compound. When I turned 18, my my parents gave me an incredibly generous gift of $18,000, representing my age. I am deeply aware of how privileged I am, and I am immediately investing every single penny of it. I view their gift as a sacred foundation, and my job is to build a fortress on top of it. The remaining $47,000 of my net worth is the direct result of my own investments and 4 years of relentless grinding and saving. And it brings us to the actual purpose of this YouTube channel. I am not building this wealth to buy designer clothes or a luxury car. I am building this wealth to buy my freedom. My ultimate goal is to be completely financially independent and retire by my mid-30s. I am going to transition out of computer science and pursue an MBA and pivot into the finance sector. I will work here in Switzerland, live with roommates, and funnel every single spare cent into dividend stocks and passive income streams. Once my passive income is high enough, I am going to take my money and relocate to Eastern Europe, where the cost of living is much lower. I am going to use geographic arbitrage to completely exit the rat race early. This channel is going to document exactly how I make that happen. I am tired of fake internet gurus who flash rented sports car and try to sell you a course. I want to create a space that is 100% transparent, honest, and grounded in reality. On this channel, I am going to upload videos that break down every single aspect of my plan to clock out early. I will be sharing regular updates on my investment portfolio so you can see exactly where my money is going. I'm going to talk about the specific dividend stocks and index funds I'm buying. We will talk about the math behind early retirement, how to calculate your own escape number. But this channel is not just going to be about spreadsheets and stock charts. A massive part of escaping the system is the right mindset. I'm going to make videos about how to change your perspective on life. We will be discussing how to break the addiction of doom scrolling and how to reclaim your attention span. I will be sharing the exact strategies I use to stay disciplined when everyone else around me is just consuming. We are going to talk about the reality of sacrificing your 20s. I will be completely honest about the days when it just feels too exhausting and how to push through them. I want to talk about how to navigate the modern education system and how to extract actual value from a broken university structure. I will share practical advice on how to land a job, how to build a network, and how to stand out when 200 other people are applying for the same job. I will also do deep dives into side hustles that actually work, from tutoring to leveraging your everyday environment. I want this channel to be a resource for everyone who feels lost right now. I want it to be a guiding light for people who know they are capable of more but do not know where to start. Every single video I upload will be designed to give you a new tool, a new perspective, or just a new strategy to help you build your own foundation. I am choosing to remain faceless and use this simple Minecraft gameplay in the background for a very specific reason. I do not want you to be distracted by flashing edits, loud sound effects, or aggressive camera angles. I just want this to feel like we are just hanging out and having a deep conversation about your future. I want the gameplay to be a relaxing visual backdrop so you can actually focus on the ideas and the strategies I'm talking about. Building a survival base in Minecraft from scratch is the perfect metaphor for what we are trying to do here. You start with noticing, you gather the resources, you survive the first few nights, and slowly, block by block, you build something permanent and secure. This is going to be a community of builders. I want to create an environment where we hold each other accountable. If you are watching this, I want you to use the comment section of this video and all future videos of mine to share your own wins, your struggles, and your early exit plans. Our generation is facing incredibly unique challenges, but we also have access to the greatest wealth building tool in the history of human civilization. We can learn anything we want for free on the internet. We can connect with ambitious people all over the world instantly. We can invest in global markets using a device that fits in our pocket. The system might be rigged in many ways, but it is entirely possible to beat it if you are willing to learn the rules and play a different game. It is going to require an immense amount of hard work. It is going to require levels of discipline that most people will never understand. But the reward at the end of this road is absolute freedom. You do not have to accept the default settings of life. You don't have to wait until you're 65 years old to finally start living. I am starting my clockout quest today, and I'm taking you along for the ride. I'm going to keep building my portfolio, expanding my skills, and documenting every single victory and failure right here on this channel. This is day one. If you are tired of just surviving, if you are exhausted from all the doom scrolling, and if you are ready to start planning your own escape route, hit the subscribe button, grab a pickaxe, start punching your own trees, and let us build an incredible future together. I will see you in the next video.